What's up, you guys? It's Lo. Back to bake. Bake on low, it's back to bake. Fuck. Welcome back to my channel. This is episode 3 of my Around the World in 80 Bakes series. In this episode, we are going to try and do France. I love France. Of course, they have the most awesome baking in the world. There's literally way too many amazing desserts to choose from. I love France, but it snowed here in Canada. I thought we'd get right into Christmas season. So, we are going to attempt a Bûche de Noël, or chocolate Yule log cake. I've never made one. I've never made one, but that's what this channel is anyway, right? I don't think I've made anything. Apparently I haven't made anything, so today we're gonna change that and attempt a Yule log. So I guess we'll just get right into it. Let's try. Okay. Bûche de Noël. First step, tie hair back so we don't have a hairy cake. Okay, also I just made these Charlie Brown Christmas cookies. I just wanted to show how cute. Okay, anyway. Okay, first things first, you're gonna get your pan. Slight problem here. I don't have a big jelly roll pan, so we're gonna try and use this black one. I don't think this was originally black. We're gonna use this with lots of parchment and greasing, and hopefully it works and doesn't get stuck. We'll try. But of course, if you have the right pan, then that works a lot better. Definitely want to make sure your pan is greased, because that's going to be the tricky part of this, the getting out and rolling, I think. So, got some cooking oil here, spray. You can use melted butter as well. I'm just going to put a bit down so that the parchment sticks. Then you're going to want to get parchment paper as well. I'm going to trim it so it's got a bit of overhang. For easier, hopefully, remove it. Okay, then I'm just going to spray it. I'm going to melt it. Okay, so we're going to take some melted butter and brush it all over. Also, how funny is this? That's my pastry brush. Dip your chef's hat in. And spraying the pan before putting down parchment makes it stick, so it's easier. Yeah. It's all greased up. And now we're going to set that aside and take a little bowl with a mini sieve. How cute. Take that and we're going to add in our dry ingredients. First things first, 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. It has to be fries too, not Leela's fries. It's good, always good to sift cocoa powder because it gets really clumpy. If you're too lazy to sift, you can always whisk. Whoa. Next, 1.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Not very much flour in these kind of cakes. So I've found in the last half an hour of research. And finally, 1/3 teaspoon of kosher salt, if you have it. I finally bought some at bulk barn, so now I feel like a real YouTube chef. We're just gonna say salt is like I don't know. The things are always a suggestion to me. A sift. The old leftover clumps. Classic cocoa. Okay, now we're gonna give that a mini whisk just to make sure they're all mixed up. That looks good. Okay, and moving on to the wet ingredients. I have insider information for you guys, a little tip, because it's very important that your eggs are room temp for this. If you keep your eggs in the fridge, put them in a bowl, Put them in a bowl of room temperature water for about 5 minutes. And they'll warm up without cooking. Ooh. Okay, so I have a very small kitchen, so this is the angle we're gonna be at. But we're gonna start by putting our 4 eggs into a bowl. Make sure they're room temp. To our eggs, we're going to add half a cup of white sugar. Whoa. Ta-da! You're right, the dough is baking. Oh. Okay, now hopefully you have an electric mixer because you're gonna have to beat these eggs a lot until they're very fluffy and pale. If you are doing this by hand, good luck. It's gonna be a workout. But also, yeah, that's it. Okay. Now that our egg sugar mix is pretty much doubled in size and gotten quite fluffy and airy and thick like this. Now we're going to mix in our dry ingredients. We're going to do this in 2 batches so we don't overmix it and so that we don't take out too much of the air that we just beat into our eggs. Because there's no rising agent in this cake, it's going to be our eggs that are going to puff it up. So you definitely want to make sure you beat the air into them really well. That just took me like 10 freaking minutes to do. So be patient, take your time. Okay, so we'll put the first half of our cocoa mix in, about half I'd say. We're going to put it on a very low speed. Okay. Now it's not even all the way mixed in, we're just gonna leave it like that. And we're gonna add a 1/3 teaspoon of vanilla extract and then add in the rest of our mix. Okay, so then we're gonna mix that on low. Even before it's mixed, all the way mixed in, stop again. Okay. Okay, now just to be safe, we're going to do the rest by hand so we don't take out too much of the air we incorporated in there. Just taking a spatula so we can go around all the sides. Just fold it in, being very gentle. Alright, we're going to transfer our batter now to our pan. Look how light and fluffy that is. Wow. Okay, now we're gonna tap out our air bubbles as well. Okay, so now we can transfer our cake into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 Celsius. Okay, so that's gonna go in the oven for just 8 to 10 minutes. Very small amount of time that we have to set up our roller. Okay, so I've just laid out a tea towel that we're gonna use to flip our cake onto and use it to roll. So to make it not stick to it, because it's a very sticky cake, take our little sifter again and some icing sugar and dust it all over. Okay, so now we're gonna make our filling for inside the roll. And you can use chocolate buttercream if you want, or I'm gonna do chocolate whipped cream just because I like the flavor better and I like that's a lot lighter. So okay, so I ended up actually leaving mine in for about 12 minutes. I think this looks good. It's supposed to spring back, it says. I think that looks springy. I don't know. It's very soft. We're just gonna go with that. I think it looks okay. See how soft that is? Holy mackerel. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go around the cake with the back of a knife, not the sharp side. Make sure it's not sticking to the sides. Okay, now we are gonna dust the top of this as well with the old powdered sugar. Just to make sure this doesn't stick as well. And we lay down our cake. Okay, that was probably way too much, but it's winter, so a little bit of snow never hurt. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so we got some risky business coming up. First, we're just going to go under with a spatula. Okay, now we're gonna flip this thing somehow. Ooh, scared. Okay, oven mitt. Oh, all right. Now we can pull the parchment off. Alright, now because this is really freaking sticky, we're gonna dust it again in powdered sugar. Okay. Now this is the part that I was scared for. So now we're gonna try and roll this into the towel. You're supposed to just try and do it as lightly as possible, not like squishing the sponge because it is so delicate. So we're gonna try our best. Give it a go. Okay. I think that worked. We'll find out. We're gonna let this cool for, okay, really I should back this up. Wow. So we're gonna let this cool, rolled up for 15 minutes so that the sponge kind of holds its shape as a roll before we put our filling in. So we're gonna work on the filling now. Whether you're doing buttercream or whipped cream, I'm gonna do the whipped cream. All right, so we're gonna add 1 cup of cold whipping cream to a bowl, along with a 1/4 cup of icing sugar. Okay, with 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And then finally add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I start on low speed so that the cocoa powder and icing sugar don't fly everywhere before we go up to the high speed. Yum. So now I'm just going to, in the meantime, make a couple little things to go on top to make it a bit more of my own. So I'm gonna try and make chocolate leaves. Never done that either. So first things first, semi-sweet chocolate chips. I don't know how much, just swing it. Just send it. Say that much. Okay, so now I'm gonna melt that. So now that's nice and melted. We're gonna let that cool. You can use whatever kind of chocolate you want for this, by the way. Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate if you're an absolute freak. So for the leaves, if you have any plants at home, just take some leaves, make sure they're clean, give them a wash, and then we're just gonna brush them with the cooled melted chocolate. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is taking our chocolate, taking a leaf and a food safe paintbrush, and all we're gonna do is just paint on the leaf. I saw Martha Stewart do this, so we'll see if it works. I'm just trying to make a thin-ish even layer. You don't want it to be too thin, otherwise I'm scared of it breaking when I'm gonna take this off, but making it even so you don't have like super thin in one part and thicky in the other. Okay, and then once your chocolate leaf is painted, just lay it on the handle of a wooden spoon so that it gets a nice kind of bend to the shape, makes it look a little more natural. Alright, so those are all painted, and I'm just gonna put this whole thing in the fridge for about 10 minutes until they harden. Okay, so now we're going to attempt. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so now we're going to attempt to unroll it and put it in our filling. Okay. our cakes unrolled. It looks all right. We're going to take our filling, either your whipped cream or your buttercream, and we don't want too much, but we're just gonna add a few dollops around. Spread that out. A pretty thin, even layer. We're gonna spread it all the way to the edges. Good. Now we're gonna attempt to roll our cake. Ideally, you should remember how you rolled it before. So don't push too hard. Be careful. Be nice to him. Okay, we're gonna use the towel as our friend. All right, nice. She's all rolled up. I put the seam at the bottom there, so that holds together. Voila. Roll it up again. In the fridge she goes for at least 2 hours. That's gotta chill for a couple hours before we put on the toppings, and I have to go to work, so I will update you guys on this tomorrow when I look different. Okay. Alright, so we're back. It's the next day. Hopefully our Yule log is chilled out. And now we're gonna make the chocolate ganache that's gonna go on as our bark. So just get some either semi-sweet or dark chocolate or milk, whatever you want, and add some heavy cream to it, and we're gonna throw it in the microwave. This part I kind of guess. Enough to sort of almost cover the chocolate. Okay, so now we're just gonna let that sit. Let the cream melt the chocolate before you try and stir. We're gonna let that cool. Alright, so grabbed all our stuff out of the fridge. Our roll and chocolate leaves. But also got a secret ingredient that we're gonna soak the cake in, just for fun. A little chef to do it. Sorry, my head's cut off. I thought this would be a better angle. Little roll. It's so delicate. So what we're gonna do is take a sharp knife and we're gonna cut off just a little end, nicer, and you can see inside. And then we're going to cut on an angle a little side piece. Okay, there's the inside of our roll. What we're gonna do is stick it somewhere on the side so it looks like a little log, a little realistic log. We're going to attach that with our chocolate ganache. And before we do that, most important, our alcoholic chef. Palette knife and our ganache. It's good to let the ganache sit for a little bit just to thicken up so it's not running all over the plate, but it is a bit easier to work with when it's still a bit liquidy. Okay, so now I'm just going to spread it all over the rest of the cake. I'm just going to cut off this end as well so that it looks a bit nicer. Okay, so once your cake's totally covered, we're gonna pop this back in the fridge for about 15-20 minutes. Alright, about 15 minutes later, the ganache is firmed up enough for us to add our details. Ew. It's already actually got some nice kind of lines from the palette knife there, but I'm just going to take the tip of my knife, just drag along and make some like bark marks. And I'm gonna get a smaller knife because it's stupidly big. I'm just kind of flipping around. Feel free to go absolutely crazy. Just get silly there. You don't even have to use the sharp end. You can just go crazy and use the other side. I don't know what's wrong with me. Give this a little dusting. I've got both cocoa powder and icing sugar here. Make it look like a little bit of snow. We're gonna take our icing sugar. And now, chocolate leaves that you made earlier. A little pair of our food tweezers. Try to peel the leaves off of here. Oh my god. Okay, how did Martha Stewart make this look so easy? Okay, we're gonna try and put these back in the freezer. Help. I think I was too messy with the chocolate. Shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, I almost had this one. Okay, well, freezing definitely helped. Oh, my God. Yes. Okay, we got one leaf, guys. It's kind of cool. Chocolate leaf. Oh. Oh, my good God. Okay, well, that kind of sucked. I need stronger leaves. What is this crap? Maybe these can be decor. I'll just tell everybody not to eat them. Yeah, okay. Nice. Okay, well, the leaves are kind of a fail. I think I got 2 that are okay, but we'll just stick them on and I think the rest looks okay. Oh well. Okay, there's the completed France Christmas baking episode. I love France. I think this turned out pretty good. I'm really excited to try it. I'll share with my family. Overall, pretty cool looking. To celebrate, this is gonna be disgusting. Do people do this? Out of my good old Paris shot glass. Cheers. Actually wasn't that bad. It's 2:50 p.m. So overall, try this out. Super easy recipe. I got it all from Chef John at foodwishes.com. I used his cake recipe and then I just, instead of doing buttercream, I did chocolate whipped cream. But other than that, same. Added some leaves. Voila! You guys are looking to make something different this Christmas that isn't your usual cake, fruit cake, whatever shit you don't like, try making a bûche de Noël and have, even though we can't travel, can bring it to your home this Christmas. I'm so cheesy. Alright, what's this called again? Bûche de Noël taste test.
Are you doing a movie?
How big a piece do you want?
Oh my god.
What? It's the cake thin and then roll
Fudgy? Dad likes the fudge.
It's awesome. Very nice.
CJ likes rolls. Alright guys, so c'est fini pour l'épisode 3 of Around the World in 80 Bakes. I had a lot of fun with this one. I'm feeling goofy lately, I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Really hope you guys try and make this at home. It's not too difficult, like compared to the vanilla slice and that. It does take like a day or two just because you have to let it sit in the fridge, but it tastes even better longer that it's there. So pretty easy overall. The cake, like, pretty simple and takes like 10 minutes to bake. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave any comments down below of any countries you'd like to see or whatever, and catch you next time on Bake on Low. See ya! Okay, this is one of my favorite pictures I took when I was in Paris of the Eiffel Tower. I love France.